You're with Julian on the Brown Note and a review of Alien Romulus, the latest in the Alien franchise, which has been given the kudos of rebooting and re-energizing the franchise in a manner that Prey did for the Predator franchise. Prey deserved that. This does not. And it isn't a bad film. It just doesn't deserve it. It stars Kaylee Spaney. I don't know how to say her name. I remember her from Bad Times at the El Royale. That is an underappreciated film. And I don't know that I've seen her in an awful lot else. Pacific Rim Uprising, she was the little girl in that. She was very good in that, actually. Yeah, she was very good in that. I don't remember her in... so she played the young Dick Cheney's daughter in Vice. She's actually got pretty decent filmography, but I thought she was pretty bad, and that's not her fault. The writing was dreadful in Civil War, the most disappointing film this year. She was the photojournalist who discovers she's not so happy with filming Death and Carnage, and then a little bit more so, and that is the entire story of that film. So she's got a decent track record. The opening is interesting and imaginative. They show the human colonies in a very different light to what we've seen in the Alien franchise before. So they show these horrendous places where humans are worked as slaves, and where she's constantly trying to get enough hours to pay back the company so that she can be transferred to a decent human colony. And they keep upping the amount of hours that she has to do, so it's clear that they're just going to keep her there forever. And David Johnson's her brother, but he's really an android, and he's an android that's corrupted, so he is a de facto disabled person, Rain Man-ish, that follows her around and is basically her father's gift to her to look after her. The directive of him is to always look after Kaylee as Rain, but it's the other way around. They get together with a group of people looking to leave the planet, another group of three other youngish people who say that they found that there's this mining ship going through space and it's going to crash into the rings of the planet that they're on. No one seems to be paying attention to it, and there might be life support pods on it that will enable them to travel the 50 light years to this human colony that's all sweetness and light, and they can get out of their existence, which they do. And of course, on board that ship, it's been decimated by aliens. And that's basically the setup of the film. The one great thing about Prometheus, it's not one great thing, it was a better film than this anyway, but what I really liked with Prometheus, the first new Alien film of the modern era, was that it introduced an entirely new paradigm that broadened the scope of who the aliens were, and this sort of pre-human civilization that was sending them to kill humanity. It opened up so many possibilities. It was very interesting to look at, very different to the other Alien films. And they killed it with the second one, Alien Covenant, which just basically got 5 minutes into the film and said, oh yeah, all those people died in 5 minutes, and it became a really silly film, not as good as this one, in fact. But this time they've gone so basic, I'm just genuinely shocked. This is essentially just a retread of the first Alien film. But not only that, Alien's a hugely influential sci-fi horror. So, there's so many films where there's a creature on board a spacecraft hunting down this crew. I must have seen 20 or more films. So to use that as a storyline for the rest of the film? Oh, come on. There's no imagination here at all. It really is as simple as that. How many sci-fi films have you seen where there's a creature that they encounter in space that then hunts them all down while they're floating through airlocks? And there is no imagination here at all. And to reach this stage of the Alien franchise and to be given such a rote storyline. The other major problem is the acting. Archie Reno and I think it's Spike Feam. I think that's the two English guys who are the other crew members. Their acting's terrible. It's so bad. And also David Johnson as the android. The whole premise around his allegiances switching from the ship to Kaylee is a good one. His acting's awful. I was laughing at him. I thought it was dire. I watched it on 4K with Dolby Atmos. The production design is fantastic, so make sure you do watch it on as high quality as possible. Like the visual design and the sonic design is superb. It just doesn't offer anything other than being pretty to look at. None of the characters develop in any direction, but they couldn't handle it acting wise either. Whether that's just down to the director Felix Alvarez, also a writer of it, because the writing is pretty dire. It opens up so many possibilities when they were on the mining planet, and then they just went into space and did another haunted house in space film. So Alien Romulus I'm going to give a 6 out of 10 for.